Good evening. How is everybody? What a crazy question. How is everybody? How am I going to ever get an answer? Unless you comment, and that'll be way later. And do I really care? Of course I do. I want everybody to be sane in their own mind for the capacity that they're able to think on their own, and if not, enough that someone else can help not to tell them what to do, but to aid them. Now, I'm speaking of this right now for the sole reason that I finally got to see what they say is a psychiatrist. And she wasn't there to numerate me, she was there to actually place me. So I sit down with her. She said, "You don't seem like you're sick at all. You've been living on your own for 10 years and you haven't returned to the hospital with any breakdown?" I says, "No, but my medication has stopped me from thinking properly." She goes, "How so?" I go, "Well, they were giving me so much that I was shaking in my skin." She says, "Well, have you this and have you that?" And I says, "Well, in 2010, I said I started seeing things in my head." She says, "What were you seeing?" I says, "I don't know. It was going way too fast. It was just I couldn't slow down." She says, "What was going on in your life?" I said, "Someone cheated me." She says, "Oh, just one person?" I says, "No, a couple of people." She says, "You sure you didn't imagine it?" I go, "No." I said, "The same thing happened in 2005 when I went in, and the same thing happening now." She goes, "Well, what's happening now?" I go, "Well, the same thing as the last 10 years. They're cheating me again." She says, "Well, you sure it's not all in your head?" I'm going to tell you something. I got a classified paper right here. Are they cheating me or not? I've got a doctor telling me he's not able to do this, and 6 months later, he is able to do this. Now he's not able to do this again. I says, "All these things are in..." She says, "Well, I think you have situational bipolar." I says, "Well, I'm not feeling good. I'm feeling down." She says, "Are you feeling down all the time?" I go, "No." She says, "But you're directing yourself well. You're swell." She says, "I'll get you an appointment with this doctor and that doctor, and maybe they'll be able to talk to each other, and you'll be able to get back your driver's license." She says, "How did you get here today?" I said, "I took my bike." She took your bike. She says, "It's 20 kilometers there and back." I go, "There's hundreds of people on the track doing it all the time." I says, "I have a medical condition. It doesn't mean I can't think or drive my bike." Um, what went on today also was something a little bizarre, and I'm just trying to remember what that means. What are you going to do? What does 88 do to you? 66. Any two numbers. Give me any two numbers. It doesn't matter. Any number. Any number, two or less. Not the total number, but the total amount. Any number you give me that's less than 99 will tell me to configure smaller. When I go on to Photoshopping, and it says make the image bigger or smaller, making it bigger, I need three numbers. And I need three numbers, and one of the numbers has to be 101. It cannot be 100, or you're not going to change the image. If you want to get smaller than 100, you will go to 99. Therefore, the beginning of something is 99 or 101, just like in pi, that the beginning of something is 3.1, and the birth is 2.9, alternate current. Because first you were the current that was inside your mother's stomach. And then when the water broke, but the water didn't break. The bag breaks, the water flows. So, now we know when we go over 100, we make the image bigger. When we go under 100, we make the image smaller. Now, what I want to bring up right now is something that I really have not worked on, but I saw somebody mentioned it. They were taking three figures, 888. All of a sudden, if it is 888, you automatically have to have two on one side and one on the other side. Otherwise, you're making the complete area larger. Here, no matter what number I use under 10 and multiply it, I will automatically make all numbers smaller. And since anything over 10 is just a repeat of the same numbers, 13 is 1 and 3 is 4, we're using 1 to 9. So any number between 1 and 9, and don't use 1, because 1 is only going to give you the same number. If you take a number 8 and multiply by 88, it will become smaller. 8 by 8, 80 is 640. 8 by 8 is 64. They're the same. 640 is smaller than 88. They're both smaller than 88. Forget about the zero position. The total is 704. 704 is 764. It says God. The reverse of this, sorry, not the polar of this, but the 101 of this, of the seventh gate of 8, 101, is 360. The difference is 280, or the cycle of the moon. And 36, 28, the cycle of the moon, is creation inside of East-West Zion, Israel. The total is 396. The total is 728, or 7 months and 28 perfect days inside the cycle. 396 minus 728. I'm just going to go I'm going to say 400, make it 328 plus 4. 332, 232, 1111. Cycle of the seventh gate, 28 days. We're not going to have a 6. We're not going to have a 6 is a division of something. 7 and 5 when you're creating 12. When you're creating moon-like, if we're creating moons, there's 13 moons and there's 1.25 days extra, or 1 day extra in 3 years, okay, and 2 days extra in the 4th year. So you'll go 1, 2, 3, and then there's 5 extra days. Okay, 364 days, 28 times 13. Alternate current, 28 is 10 equals to 1, 13 equals to 4, 1 and 4 after the death. 1 and 4, the spirit inside the circumference. So now what we're going to do right now, and I hope I don't lose the number inside my head. Okay, this one is 396 from 728 equals to 332. Or if we add it together, it'd be 1124. Okay, which is the birth inside the 9 lives of the cat, because 11 and 9 are the same thing. It's just one side or the other, and 1 and 1 is 2, so it's inside Venus. Now, I'm trying to remember what I was just thinking. Oh, my God, I don't want to put back this video. 728, 396, 101 away from 888. 888, okay? 8 and 5 is 13. 6 and 7 is 13. 6 and 1 is 7. So when we go 8 and 5 equals to 13, or 6 and 7 equals to 13, the opposite of 8 and 5, or the crisscrossing, is 6 and 1, which will be like this. The other one will be 3 and 4, crisscrossing through 8 and 5, putting 8 below and 2 above, right? 2, 5, 8, 2. So now it becomes 82. Yes, we went on to 364 days, which equals to 1 day extra because there's 365 days in a year. And then we went 364 days, and then we have 1 extra for 365 days in a year. Then we went 364 days, and then we went 1 extra for the moons. And at the same time that we did this 365, 365, 365, which is 1,095. 1,095, AE and I. This becomes 195. Right? 1, 6 equals to the light. 95 is inside of Neptune. Now we're going to put this down here and show you the full calculation. I have this camera that I can move around now. Good. Thank you very much to my son. This is the 3 years. This is the 1,095. This is 9, 10, 80, and 12, 1092. And that is your birth in Venus, 10, 11. There's your blackjack, right? 1, 2, 1. This next one will be 364, which will be 1,456. Okay? And this one will be 366. And this will be 1,470. No, it shouldn't be 70. 65, 60. Sorry, 60. If I wanted to calculate this to the Hebrew calendar at 3760, I'd be missing 23, the number 23, right? If I miss the number 23, that would be BC and AD, before and after the death. These two together will make 2916, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So now I have 5 days. I have 13 cycles of the moon, once, twice, 3 times 14. I have 52 cycles of the moon in 4 years. And I have 5 extra days. I need to get 28 extra days. So I need times 5 of this same cycle, which will bring me 310 alternate current, which will give me 25 days, and which will give me 20 years. Now I need to go the 23rd year. In the 23rd year, this will give me 13, 13, 13, 39, 49, 349, creation of the gateway, and this will give me 28. And now we have 1 extra cycle bringing me to 350, or 35. In the last year. So we have to go 23 years. In the 23 years, we have 5 times this over here, which makes us 10 leaps. 5 leaps will give us a balance of 10 days. Okay? We will have 5 leaps. We will have 18 single days. 18 days where there's no leap. The total is 28. The total is 28. Okay? We have 5. We have 18. The letter is M-E-R. Says the ocean. It also says the sun of creation of the 7 by 7 is 49, creation of the gateway. But I must multiply this. And this multiplied. 3 by 9 is 7. 3 by 4 is 12. This becomes 147. 147 is the left side of your calculator, the spirit through the gateway. The 4 is the 360 degrees. 313. 232. What 232 is, there's many ways to look at it. Okay, it's like this. This is your 232. Okay, now if you want to look, this is your Neptune, how it's created, because 1 goes between 2, and it connects here, between here, because you start off to here, the spirit goes through, and you end up over here. Don't count this. This is where the readers are. I believe these, okay, are Deimos and Phobos inside of Mars. So we understand that now we have 23 years. In the 23 years, we end up with 28 days extra. It takes 23 years to have a perfect moon cycle, and the 29th year, you will have a leap, and you'll have 2 extra days to begin with. All of a sudden, from 28, you go to 30. 30 becomes 36. The next one in this will be 46. So we're going to do this. We're going to go to 46. Yes, you see, New Zealand, Zionists, because in my work, N and Z, they go together as the same thing, creating 40. New, 555. Zealand, 8513. DNA is in the seal over here, New Zealand. Statue of Liberty, this in French says death. Li says bed. Bear means birth, and it's tied. 81 is Venus. 81 times 320, which is the Pac-Man mouth. 40, 40, open up of the rivers. Right? 40 days and 40 nights when they open the rivers. 29,920. Do you have a foul? Are we eating chicken? Do you have a foul? Is it a vowel, or do you move your vowels? Right? Or is it a hard count? Right? What is the hard count, and what are the hard ways? The hard ways are 2 and 2, 3 and 3, 4 and 4, 5 and 5. 6 and 6 is not a hard way. Okay? But the hard consonants are 2, 4, 7 and 8. 9 lives of the cat inside 24. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 is 6 and 8, but it is 6. that has the passage inside 7 and 8. This is what gives you the freedom. Why does this give you the freedom? Because 7 equals 5, 8 equals 0. Because of the penny, 7 goes down to 5, 8 goes up to 0. Right? Double nickel. 13, 1, 3, 9, 5, 6. What is this? That the vowels, and don't count 1 and 3 as a singular, they must be counted together, because the spirit must be going through and into, bringing two spirits together. 1 and 3 is inside of 5 and 9. 9 and 5 again, inside of Neptune. 1, 3, 6 is the bringing of the light, or the letter P, that you see, right, in Nintendo games. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring this area into 23, 23, 23, 69, 28, 28, 28, 84. This is 7 years, the gateway, and this is what you connect to Pluto. This is what you do when you get a car loan. It takes 7 years times 12 months. The cycle is 28. So now you have 69 and 84. So you would have, I'm thinking as I go, So over here you would have 5, 10, 15 leaps, and you have 54 non-leaps. No leap. 54 is the sun, and 15 is Mars, or the circumference where 2, 3, 4 runs in between. Over here. This is your 15. When we go to the next one, and I'm going to bring all these numbers together, okay? This took 20 years to do, right? 20 and 23 years total. 23 years. 349, okay? To multiply by that by 3. 349, 349, 349. Now, there's two ways to do this. It's 27, it's 12, and it's 9. 9 automatically becomes part of Mars, because it's 0, 9, which is 69, which is creation. 2, 3, 4. 6 and 9 is 15. 12 equals 3. 9, 3, 9. Creation in the skies of Saturn, because that's where the numbers come from. 999 is 27, 1, 444 is 12 is 13, and 1 equals to 10, 37. Okay, now I'm not sure where I want to go with this. This will end up making Electric Company. I don't know what I want to do with that yet. I know it's Electric Company DC, inside of Mars, creation and birth. 7 by 3 is 21, which will create alternate current. This will recreate 31. 7 by 3, 7 plus 3, 21 and 10, 31. 10 becomes 16, becomes 7, becomes 737, and again, this is now the cycle of Nibiru, which also is the same letters as Russia. So now we're going to get to this one over here, and we're going to add on one more. We're going to add on a third year. We're going to go from 69, 70, 20, 40, 69, 79, 89, 92 is your birth. Perfect cycle, right? Over here, because we have one more cycle, we're going to add on 28, 112. This is 4 moons, or 11 and 2, or 2 and 2. This over here, because we have the 15 leaps, we get 5 more leaps, we go to 20 leaps, and then we go to 18 no leaps, which is the movement of time, which is 92. 92, 92, 112. The difference is 20. 11, 11, and I'm not sure which way I want to go with this. This becomes the gateway. It becomes 56 and 56. It becomes 28 and 28. And it averages out to all those numbers. It then becomes 14, and 14 is the circumference surrounding the cube. So I'm not sure which way to go this way, and I'm quite sure there's more calculations to do inside of this. So we started out with 88, 66. There is one other piece I want to do with this, that the polar to 8 is 2, and the polar to is 2, and the polar to 6 is 4. So this becomes 28, and this becomes 46. This becomes 10, this becomes 10. Do I do anything else with this? What you see is 6 is 18, right? I made a mistake, and no, I didn't make a mistake, sorry, I didn't finish something. 6 times 66 is 360, equals 396. Plus 666 equals to 18, equals to 414, that is your DNA. DNA. I added 888, 24, 728 to the cycle. So I need to add another 18 to this number over here. Okay, this number over here, 396, is no longer 396. It is now 414 minus equals 314. And those are the first numbers in pi. This is 101 through the gateway to begin with the sun, DNA, and the first numbers of pi. Forget about this number. It didn't change anything because I jumped over and all I did over here is made a calculation. That's all I did. This has nothing to do with that calculation. At the same time, if I want to add this, I'll get 1142. 1142 is the same thing. 1142 is now 242, which is 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 is 868, which is space for the 9 lives of the cat. What else did I do? This is your DNA, and it works out perfectly, the numbers. 4 times 1, 4 plus 1 is 5 and 4 the sun. 5 and 4 the sun, the same numbers. 5 and 4 the sun. So we're going to quit this right now. If there's any questions, do not hesitate to ask me. And do not forget, I am no professional about anything. I work on what I see, I understand what I do, and whatever you see different or think you can adjust within whatever I did, will go right ahead. If I can one day do this exactly perfect, right? Perfect only means one thing. It means that if you have a question and I can answer the question, or I can fulfill one of the answers, that's what perfect gets to be. And you know what's funny? Is the guy over there. See the guy sitting over there? It's just so funny to see. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for watching. Cut my head off.